Civil Defence is urging Dunedin motorists to stay off the roads after torrential rain continues to drench the city, causing widespread flooding and slips. There's a heavy rain warning in place until at least 7 o'clock tonight, and residents being urged to conserve water to ease pressure on the wastewater system. The police have been door to door telling Otago residents to evacuate because of flooding, but people in the small rural settlement of Henley near Dunedin have decided to stay put. Our reporter Tim Brown is near Henley and joins us now. Tim, what's it like where you are?
It is very wet and very windy. We can see evidence of where the spillway is starting to fill up the floodplains near Henley and on the Taieri Plain. Water levels are rising quite rapidly. I'm looking at a road that accesses Henley right now, and it is flooding across the road, and that level is building all the time. The floodwaters are actually quite rapid at the moment.
So in terms of just water on the ground, what would you say? Is it up to your mid-shin, or what are we talking about here?
Well, looking at some of the plains that have already been flooded, there are power poles that are significantly covered. I would say they're a good 4 or 5 metres up at least. Depending on what route you take on the road, the car would probably be up to the windows. On other sides, it would be around the lower base of the tyres. It really does vary from plane to plane down here. What's
the situation with the residents who are deciding not to evacuate? Can you tell us more about that?
Well, Henley is an interesting little community in that it's built right on the bank of a river, and if that river overflows, it spills straight basically into their doorstep. But they've been here before. This is not a new situation, and they're holding tight in the hopes that this is nothing like the last floods, which did impact their houses.
And I understand residents are being urged to conserve water, which kind of seems, it feels kind of counterintuitive with so much rain coming down. What's the deal there?
Well, they want us to conserve water to take the strain off the wastewater and the stormwater systems, which obviously as the rain continues to fall and as the waters move from the rivers further back on the catchment, put it under pressure and are causing it to overflow in certain areas such as Middlemarch.
So sandbagging also, Civil Defence were calling for people to come with their shovels in essence. Where are they sandbagging?
The sandbags are available from Mosgiel, which is a small town just out of Dunedin, and in South Dunedin, where there have been flood issues in the past. It's really precautionary at the moment, but there will obviously be residents that are nervous seeing the floodwaters spill up their street and towards their houses.
And what can we expect for Dunedin over the next few hours?
Well, the rain has eased now, but it isn't gone altogether, and there is a fresh lot of rain due tomorrow, which will put more pressure on these rivers, which are already at flood or near flood.
Keep dry. That is Tim Brown. He's near Henley, which is a small rural settlement near Dunedin, and they've decided to stay put, a lot of the residents there, despite the police going door to door telling people to evacuate. And as we heard there from Tim, there's been sandbagging going on in Dunedin, and the water is pretty high where he is.